Decades after the tragic death of Hank Williams, the sordid saga of his legacy continues. Tragic demises, scorned children, legal battles, it kinda makes Game of Thrones look like C-SPAN. But somehow things have gotten even more twisted, as Hank Williams Jr.'s son has claimed he is being held against his will under a restricting and unjust conservatorship. But as we dug deep, we found out that things are a lot more complicated and a lot darker than they seem. Today we're digging into the mystery of Sam Williams and his claim to fame. Is it Sam or Hank Jr. who's telling the truth? Before we dive in, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy it. Subscribe to our channel so you never miss any one of our videos. Now, you ready? Well, come on and let's go find out.
You can definitely feel the history.
What happened? Some background. Ever since the original Hank's tragic death in the back of his car, it seems like his lonesome wailing has continued to haunt his progeny. Some have done okay, like Hank Jr., but others have struggled for years to come to terms with their double-sided legacy. Take Jet Williams, Hank's granddaughter, who Hank Jr. famously went to war with when he found out she wanted to take a piece of the family pie and also become a singer. Or take Hank Williams III, the exuberant and troubled punk who also has a troubled relationship with Hank Jr., his father.
I don't know. I mean, we've all had our own way. You know, it's just, hang on, I guess, for the ride.
Now, Sam Williams, Hank Jr.'s son, didn't seem to be as troubled as those poor souls. He seems to have a decent relationship with Hank Jr., and Hank Jr. even supported him entering the music industry. But Sam had a special bond with his sister, Katie. In a messy, famous family, Katie was a tie to the normal world. She had 2 children with her husband, and their so-called normal and pleasant life was a welcome respite from the pressures of fame for Sam. But then, just like that, everything changed. The car wreck. In June of 2020, the Williams family suffered yet another unthinkable tragedy. Katie Williams and her husband were driving their Tahoe on the highway, towing their boat behind. They were looking forward to a relaxing day out on the water, and in the blink of an eye, everything changed. At 7:44 p.m., for reasons we still don't know, Katie's car crossed the median of the highway. There was a very serious collision, and she was killed. Katie Williams was just 27 years old. Her husband, who had to be airlifted to the hospital, barely survived. Sam took this very, very hard. And in August of 2020, just 55 days after the accident, Hank Williams Jr. made a request for conservatorship over Sam. Nothing to see here. The world of country music took notice of Sam and his situation after a series of social media posts explaining that he was under the repressive thumb of his father, Hank Williams Jr., and he wanted out. He uploaded a video on YouTube and later made it private, with an avatar of himself holding up a piece of paper reading, "I want out." So naturally, the public was very worried, and it was some time before we heard from Sam again. This time he was a bit more even-keeled, and he said, quote, "Hi y'all, I'm seeing a lot of supportive tweets and I appreciate it so much, but I want to make clear that I do not want to start some sort of campaign. I was in an uncomfortable position and made a decision to speak. Desperate times can call for desperate measures, and I felt called to talk about it. I am doing well and just won out of an unfair situation. I love all of my family very much." Well, a year after the conservatorship went into effect in August of 2021, Sam's debut album was released, and it was a pretty big deal. I mean, Dolly Parton was even featured.
They are always talking about my boobs, you know. Not that
I don't know why.
But they say such, and you know, they're not that big. It's just that I'm little and they're big in comparison to that. Well, they're
That's not true.
Okay,
They're
well, they are big,
It's unclear exactly what stake Hank Jr. had in the album, or how closely he was involved in the production. But it seems like a concerted effort was made to communicate one message: everything is fine.
see here?
Another tragedy. In 2022, Sam was still grieving from the loss of his sister. And on March 22nd of that year, he was struck by yet another tragedy. Sam's mother, Mary Jane Thomas, died unexpectedly after a medical procedure. She was only 58 years old. Sam Williams was, of course, crushed. He said the following in a statement: "My dear Mama Mary Jane was a beautiful soul who forever affected everyone who knew her. She could take down a 10-point buck and fix dinner for her grandchildren at the same time." Just a week later, Sam made possibly his first public appearance after his call for help. Believe it or not, this took the form of another show of unity. On stage, Sam appeared alongside his father and Holly, the very people he accused of taking advantage of him and locking him up. Was this a sign that Sam had put aside his grievances to grieve with his family properly? Or did his mother's death unspool him completely and allow Hank Jr. more control? One more development. So what was really going on behind the scenes? Well, the Williams family seemed determined to move on past the shocking video and the conservatorship. And on October of 2022, Sam came out as gay in a music video. The video showed him kissing a guy who was his real-life boyfriend. He gave interviews about the relationship between his new status and his music. Right now, we don't know what his father's reaction to this was. It seemed like he was determined to move forward with his career and had no bad blood with his father. But was that really true? Right now, we have to leave that up to you. Do you think Sam is telling the truth about his restrictive conservatorship? Or was he merely lashing out after being unable to cope with a serious and personal tragedy? We drown in the information and rumors, and we try to hold on to the stories and legends of yesteryear, while the truth is always just beyond our grasp.
And no government agency has jurisdiction over the truth.
One can only imagine what Hank Williams would think. And we need to know what you think. Get in the comments and tell us who is telling the truth. Do you enjoy the music of the Williams family, Hank Williams Jr., or the third? And what about Sam Williams? Has anyone listened to any of his tunes? Get in the comments and tell me your favorite one. If you enjoyed our Williams family deep dive, please give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to our channel and come back often so we can keep telling you what happened.
I realized I'm gonna have to do something or I'm gonna live off daddy's money for a long time.